We had 147 responses to the resident survey. Of that, the vast majority of the folks that took the survey did have Verizon TV. 27% did not, but 72% did. Overall, it was positive on Verizon's service. First off, the quality of the service, and the response of Verizon's customer service when there was problems, all received upwards of 70% favorable. My household's willing to pay an additional 0.5% of my current cable bill to fund the North TV operating expenses, and overwhelmingly that was not favorable. So almost 70% of the respondents were negative to that.
So I did a little quick math, and if, let's just say, for example, the monthly cable TV charge was $100 a month, the 0.5% increase would be about 50 cents.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether that's something that could be handled, or is any increase going to cause some kickback?
Yeah, I did think through that too as I was looking at it. The question says 0.5%, but did that adequately come across in the question, the decimal point before the 5, or were people thinking it was a 5% increase?
Right.
A 0.5%, we probably should have spelled that out a little bit better. I think in the long run, we have to look at both sides of it.
Oh,
to your
sure.
point, it's probably negligible, and as we pull out, as we reduce the the ask for funds for capital expenditures, I think they're probably going to be pretty close to washing anyway. So, I think that's something we can put on the agenda to ask Verizon when they join one of our meetings, if they could tell us what that movement, the average movement would be, or if they could get us that information. Because if it's less than $1 a month, I think I'm in the same boat as you. It's probably negligible. There were places where where we allowed free comment. There was a couple around decreasing the price as overall, lowering the cost, but I think it's more around the total price. And to your point, the 0.5% only affects the cable portion of the bill.
Correct.
So we can certainly, I think what we need to put on our docket for Verizon is what is that average cable bill for a resident for just cable, and then with the wash of, if we went up to 0.5% and pulled back on the capital expenses, what kind of effect that might have on the total bill. Most people agree or strongly agree for a high definition channel.
Good.
For North TV.
Good.
And then I think, contrary to what we kind of been talking about here, the two questions about do you feel like you'll use traditional cable in the future, almost half the respondents said yes, they're going to continue to use traditional cable. I also think that when asked, do you want to pay more for anything, most people are going to say no.
Correct.
So
The answer is no. What's the question?
yes, exactly.